Bell MTS's Stories from the Hill is a look back at the roots of our festival, an authentic showcase of those special moments where artists and fans connected in their own way. There's so much more meaning to Dauphin's Country Fest than the party itself, stories we would like to share. It's easy to forget that this is a nonprofit organization when you see the unbelievable mark it's made on the community and the countless organizations that have benefited from it. Bell MTS's Stories from the Hill will highlight and keep some of those memories and special stories alive until the next time we can gather on the hill for Dauphin's Country Fest.
Do you remember the first time you played on the stage at Dauphin's Country Fest? Yeah?
It was hot. It was hot. Hot. It was,
How long ago?
I remember it was, the first time we did the stage at 2:00 in the afternoon, 3:00 in the afternoon.
Hot.
Hot. And then we did the party stage up at the top.
Yeah.
Two completely different shows. I gladly cashed the check for the one down on the lower part where we were like cooking.
Yeah.
But I would gladly pay to do that one up at the top for sure.
It's fun, right?
Yeah, it was one of the first shows where it was just that party set was just it wasn't a wide group of people that were listening, throughout the day. Whoever was there, it was people who came intently to have fun and listen to some loud music up close. And
did you change the sets? Were the sets different?
Oh yeah, a little more energy. We did some more covers up there, and I remember we played "Wasting My Time," and that was one of the first times I was like, oh wow, this audience knows that song. So that's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It is one of the truly unique things about the festival is that they have those yin and the yang of it all, those two different sides of the festival that both scratch different itches.
Me and my band, we cut our teeth there a lot. Like we played there quite a few times now. First time was great. The second time, I believe we came back, and it was 2 times where it was just been pouring rain, like just air mattresses floating down the road.
Weather can be a factor for sure, whether it's incredible intense heat or just the special effect like rain you've ever seen.
But I have fond memories of that place. And all the crowds, even with the rain and the amount of rain which was there, which was a ton of rain, torrential, and there was people all over the place in that venue. It was a blast.
There's a pretty cool feeling there too, right? Like I know we all have traveled to different festivals and stuff, but there's a real kind of unique feeling about that place. I keep using the word unique. The venue's unique, the location's unique. It takes a little bit of effort to get there. And I just find that once you're there, and I've talked to a lot of artists who've traveled there from the US, and obviously the folks are Canadian brothers and sisters who play there on a regular basis. Just a real warmth about the place.
There is. You can tell it's an established festival.
Yeah.
You can tell that just with the way that staff and everybody, and just the whole vibe. The whole vibe is just a well-oiled machine. The heritage, you can see the stuff that's gone on there in the past. Backstage it's not like you were it's not like a nice new club or something like that, right? A new festival that's rolled in, try to impress everybody. It's like backstage, it's just, it is what it is. And we get up there and it's a real deal country festival.
Whether it's Alan Jackson or Blake or whoever, never heard anybody complain about it.
Never. It's a country festival, man. You roll in, you got everything you need there. Stage is great, sound is great, and the crowd's awesome. So
that's right. The staff who run the venue, who are bringing on the equipment and doing the teardowns and all of that, are so good at it. The clockwork that happens there,
well-oiled machine.
That ingress and egress is so smooth, and everybody just kind of works together. Nobody's yelling. You don't hear anybody, getting it. Get out of the way. There's none of that kind of intimidation that can sometimes happen. Say if you're in the bowels of an arena or something like that. It's got a different vibe. The security guards who work on the hill, they're probably volunteers. They're probably on their 11th season in a row, and they say hi to you when you walk by. It's a warm, kind of friendly place.
Yep, absolutely, man.
You cut your teeth there. You feel like you kind of cut your teeth there?
Oh, I remember a lot of lessons just from set how we organized the set and how crowd react. Yeah, I mean we played that 2:00 afternoon set. My agent was there, Nick, and I remember we did that show, and it was a lot of like self-critique and learning what we could do, because it was very early in playing.
Those 2:00 sets, there's nothing to hide behind, because like you said, the sun's blazing. There's not a whole bunch of lights and special effects that can cover up your mic pack on the back of your jeans, or an untied shoe, or a trip or a slip or a screw up by the drummer, or
No,
not to aim at the drummer, but as a guy that occasionally plays a drum kit, that's the way
no,
I
no
go.
cheers in between songs.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You're hanging it out there.
Yeah. Your pants are down around your ankles a little bit,
Yeah,
for sure. But the crowd was nice. The crowd was nice, and that's the other thing too, is that on those sets, it's a lot of people that really just appreciate. Let's be honest, a lot of people are just recovering in the tents until the
yeah,
bigger acts come on, right? So
yeah,
that's kind of the deal. So anybody that's there is a genuine music fan, right?
yeah.
They're there to watch music, and yeah, it's a little more pressure as opposed to playing to 80% drunk hooligans, right? That's a little easier.
That's true. You just
Yeah.
with the 80% drunk hooligans, you just got to make sure that and again, the festival is not just that, obviously, because there are a lot of people who come there who are like in their 50s and in their 60s and in their 70s.
Yeah,
who
they're
are just
super
coming-
baked. They're not drunk. Yeah.
It is though. It never feels like, and often, sometimes when you get a crowd together, I've been to some country shows in Toronto at the Bud Stage and talked to some security guards there a bunch. And country crowds can be a challenge for these guys. I've had a couple of the security guards tell me they had a rap festival there the weekend before, a metal festival there 2 weeks before. They say the country crowd is the toughest challenge for all of them because people are letting loose a little bit more than they normally. That's in Toronto. That doesn't. I know people let loose in Dauphin, but it really still seems like everybody's looking out for each other.
Well, you're not city folk going to a country festival. Maybe that's what it is.
Speaking of city folk going hardcore country, I saw the video for Some Things Never Change. You're like on a farm, dude.
Dude, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, man. I open up this window and I literally hear cows.
You do.
You know, I'm not like a purebred country kid. Like
Yeah.
that's just not. But I grew up in like the outside skirts and suburbs and stuff. Like there's equestrian and farms and
Yeah.
agriculture. Fucking, it's everywhere where I'm at. Literally, there's a farm like half a block.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like with cows and stuff, like an actual.
The full deal, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Can you walk over there and get milk?
No, but I can get eggs.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, $3 a dozen. I can just walk over to the place and they've got his huge eggs. Huh?
That's awesome. I am a city boy as well, and but my first job, and I grew up in the suburbs of Toronto, before the urban sprawl had just taken over this area as well.
Yeah.
My high school was right across from a farm, and my first job was mucking stalls on the horse farm in that thing. I learned how to drive manual on a Massey Ferguson tractor that we used to bale hay.
That's awesome.
On this farm. So there's it's such a tiny percentage of a farm boy in me. It's very small.
Hey man, I trucked hay for a summer. It's the hay for a summer. It's like hard work, man.
Yeah.
The worst. And I went there without gloves.
Oh, I was just
One
gonna say,
day.
don't forget your gloves.
One day, the first day I went without gloves, and that never happened again.
Binder twine.
Yeah.
And then when you get up high in the hayloft, there's only like room left for like one or two more levels, and you're just breathing in the chaff. It's all coming in, and because they put the new guy, the young guy, whatever, up there, right?
That's where I
Coming
was.
up, hawking up stuff for days. Good stuff.
Yeah, I didn't do that for very long. Mad respect for that work for sure.
Absolutely, yeah, I loved it. Dirt biking at your lunch hour and everything. It was great.
Quadding, man. I remember. Yeah,
I remember taking a quad around the campsite at Dauphin's Country Fest with my CMT camera crew.
Yep.
And I had Brett Kissel beside me, and we just decided to do an interview, and give it some perspective, give everybody at home and everybody across Canada a look at the campsite. Now, people warned me. They said, "Don't go into the campsite with camera gear and a star and one of the musicians. Are you crazy?" But
I mean, who wants to look at me and all that stuff out in there and gather that much of attention?
It is. So
not something I would be into, but
I know. Well, I would never do it again. It did end up being a memorable piece of television because we're driving and I've got my camera crew is in front of me in a golf cart with my cameraman strapped into the place where the golf bags go.
Yeah.
So he doesn't fall out. And so
this is a golf cart? This is a golf cart, not a quad. What are you talking about?
No. The golf cart's in front of me with my
sorry.
crew.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm driving the quad behind it, and my cameraman is in where the golf bags go, and he's strapped in, shooting backwards at Brett Kissel and I, who were driving. Everybody just said, whatever you do, Paul, don't stop. Just don't ever stop. Don't come to a complete stop. And of course, this group of girls walks up, and they're like, "Can we get a picture?" I'm sure their voices were much deeper than that, but can we get a picture? And so what do? I stop, not realizing that they have been day drinking.
Yeah.
And one of them gets up and climbs over the roll bars and is beside me and leans over to get into the picture. And as she does so, her Mike's Hard Lemonade or whatever it is goes all down my side, and it's 100 degrees. It's one of those hot afternoons.
Felt nice, I'm sure.
Yep. Went down
refreshing.
into my pocket where the microphone was. I'm dripping now. I've got all this stuff all down me, and do I have a change of clothes? I don't know. Maybe back at the Motel 6 or the Super 8 or whatever it was. In any case, and I'm now sticky in the sun, and I got to finish now. When we actually manipulated the video and rolled it all back and did the whole pouring in slow motion and bleeped out my swear word, it was very, very funny.
Yeah,
and almost worth it, but
not quite.
Not quite. So if anybody ever asks you, Dallas, to go for a ride in the quad,
I know not to do that.
Politely,
I know not to do that. Yep, especially stop.
Do you have any specific memories of moments that you had on the grounds there at Dauphin's Country Fest?
Honestly, like I haven't been around like outside of like the artist grounds. I've gone and wandered to the sides and watched artists from the side perspective and stuff, but I haven't gone out in the grounds. I've gone for like a run during the day.
Even on stage though, even a moment where you kind of like, where you had one of those moments, because that amphitheater is pretty unique, right? The way the crowd rises up in front of you.
Oh yeah, well it's a huge playground.
You're at eye level, and then it just goes up from there, as opposed to if you're playing in an arena, you look down and then they're out in the distance. They start ramping up right in front of you.
Yeah, so it's a wall of people, like you said, right? It's not like a floor full of, it's just a complete bowl that you're playing to.
Yeah.
It's that the stage is quite different, it's a half circle.
Yeah.
It's a big playground to play with, right? Which can be intimidating, but me and the guys try to fill it up the best as we can. And I have fond memories of it pouring and people up against that gate, just hanging over top of the front barrier and high-fiving and having a good time and taking phones and singing along with the songs with people there. And yeah, dude, it's one of the better, more fun festivals in Canada for sure.
I know you've had that experience a lot where you can kind of put the mic down and listen to thousands of people sing your songs back, but that never gets old.
Never, it never gets old. And I can't wait to get back to that, man.
Yeah.
It's talked about this too. Like it's definitely an outlet for sure. Like it's just a human. Everybody's got their outlet. Like the actual act of singing and doing that is like, I don't know. It's like a coping mechanism,
Yeah.
And sort of refilling that back up and going through that experience and stuff. You miss it for sure. It is super rewarding, and there's a lot that we put into what we do. And when that happens, I mean, that's the ultimate reward. All these awards and things like that you get are because that happens.
Yeah.
That's the magic part of it. Getting the whatever afterwards is one thing, but when you start actually connecting, that's why we do this. Is you want to release stuff that connects to people, and nothing shows that more than them looking in the eye and yelling back what you're yelling at them. So very cool.
It's there's a bit of a different vibe there as well. I know you had tons of opportunity with the fall to play in front of rock crowds, but the country crowd thing is a little different, isn't it?
Yeah, like I've noticed, like with my catalog of songs and stuff, like it allow country music crowd. Just I think they're more open to a lot different styles and different types of songs, different tempos, different moods than say a rock crowd. It can be a lot more one-dimensional, and I know, just speaking from my experience, is that when I look back at the default stuff, it was very one-dimensional compared to not only the songs but how I was singing them. And there was a lot of room for growth for me, and there always will be in this genre. And that's why I feel like I've always felt like I've been more at home in this genre than I have in the past. I love the past stuff that I've done. It exercised a certain muscle and it gave me experience, and I love going back and doing that. But being able to play songs like Wasting Gas and then follow it up with Like a Man, I mean, it's just completely two different emotions, two different feels, two different energies. And like Tipping Point, I mean, Tipping Point and Autograph,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very, very lucky and very fortunate to be in a genre where I can actually go and flex those different kinds of muscles and connect in different songs in different ways.
How are the guys in the band doing? I'm sure you're in touch with them all the time.
Yeah, we miss each other. We see each other every once in a while. Got massive, like, amazing text threads going on, just good times on that. But they're all in the same boat, man. It's part of our coping mechanism. It's a part of our expression. It's part of who we are, is getting up there and doing it as an art and expressing ourselves that way. So
Yeah.
we connect that way, and we talk about it, and we're chomping at the bit, man. Like, we got some tough days ahead, just in life in general, but in touring in this industry. But light is at the end of the tunnel here. We can see it. It's getting closer, and I firmly, strongly believe that we're going to enter into a golden era of Canadian country music, where there's going to be a lot of spotlight due to logistics, a lot of spaces up on the Canadian festivals for the massive amount of talent that we have up here to show off what we got, right? And sort of see if we can hang with the big boys, and I know we can. So I think that's going to carry us through and do us well with Canadian touring.
I don't consider myself to be the biggest patriot on the planet. I get a little worried when people get too nationalistic. You know what I mean? And but God, did it tug at my heartstrings on those days where we're Canada Day, Dauphin's Country Fest with an all Canadian lineup. I was like, this is a beautiful moment.
Yeah, man. There's no BS. There's no politics. There's no nothing involved, right?
Yeah.
No, it's just homegrown talent and an audience there watching.
I know you're a big hockey guy, obviously. You must be kind of excited about the format right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. It's good. I'd like to see the Canucks, how they would stack up against, some of these new powerhouses. I would love to see them play Colorado and kind of use them as a measuring stick. They're coming up with what they got going on. But yeah, it's good. Time will tell how much I enjoy this, because we know if Canucks don't do so well, I'm gonna have to eat a lot of crow. So this is to be determined on how much I enjoy this. I think it's, man, honestly, hockey and like sports in general is part of our soul.
Yeah.
Canadians, a lot of us really, obviously hockey and being it helps us get through. Me and a lot of my friends that we talk to, being able to talk about something outside of all the other BS is going. It's important, man. It's a good distraction, really good distraction.
It is. I was just wondering if I was doing a little bit of math at the beginning of this and realized that it was possible. It was going to be possible for.
Sorry, dude. Can I pause you for 1 sec?
Yeah.
Sorry, 1 sec, buddy.
Yeah, no, you're good. Grape juice.
Sorry, man.
No, you're good. You're good. Sorry, I probably kept you too long. Dauphin's Country Fest is a unique festival in many ways, including the fact that it's non-for-profit. And so all the money that the profits goes back into the community. So they have to, keep this thing going. This isn't just a business endeavor. This is a thing that helps communities. So really, the show must go on.
It has to. Yeah, absolutely.
Ironically, this is an outdoor festival, but it's like a tent pole of the country music industry in Canada.
A tent pole?
Tent pole. They have these tent pole events throughout the course of a year. And it's just it is one of the longest running festivals, if not the longest running festival in Canada.
Yep.
So
I've never heard that expression, the tent pole.
Well, a tent pole movie would be like for MGM, the studio MGM. They've got the James Bond movie that's sitting there. That's their tent pole. That's the thing that props up the rest of the game, right?
Got it. Flagship or whatever. Yeah.
That's why they're not releasing the James Bond movie into on demand, because it has to come out in theaters or the company goes away.
Yeah, got it. Yep.
So
they pay Bond a lot of money.
And it's the thing that keeps the lights on for them.
Gotcha. Buddy.
So I think Dauphin's Country Fest is one of the defining festivals of the industry.
Yep, absolutely, man. Absolutely. But the fact that the money does come back into the community, for us to be able to fly to where we fly to, be able to, what is it, 4-hour trip on that bus?
Yeah.
Man, I have so many memories of being on that bus and laughing and having the best times. Getting there, getting to meet everybody, the experience that we have there, seeing everybody, well, you included, we always see you there. There's lots of laughs, lots of good times. Get to play the show and do some good in the community. Yeah, it's things like that you got to keep going.
And watch your manager, after the shows are all over, get up there and actually take a microphone and sing himself. he is a frustrated rock star, your manager, Nick Minema.
Yes, yeah, Nicky Charles. Yeah, he is a star. Just ask him.
You're optimistic. Do you think you will be playing in front of a crowd this year?
Yes, I do. I'm not sure how the summer's going to shape up. Man, it's all going to come down to really the information that the government gives these festivals and how we do as a society, and how they do getting us the vaccines and the rollout. So a lot of this is just kind of out of our control, unfortunately. But I'm optimistic. The back half of this year we're starting to plan like a tour. So it's really nice to start thinking about that, which is great. Still a ways away for a tour, but I know for sure we'll be playing shows by the end of the year and the back half of this year, and hopefully Dauphin is one of them.
Well, the back half of this year would begin in and around Canada Day, mathematically speaking. So it could start. We could launch the music. We could launch live music in 2021 with Dauphin's Country Fest.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. That would not make me angry.
Good man. Thanks, Dallas.
Thanks, buddy.